You know what? It's gonna take. Just give me 30 seconds. All right. Oh my God. We can't go off frame. Holy shit. Ah, hold on. Hold on. Alright, so we're starting off with the new Trench Crusade plastic minis. It finally came out. And yes, I know I am late for the party, but guess what? So is Fortress. I mean, this is the main reason why I haven't actually accepted the invitation for a demo, because they haven't released the minis yet during that time that I was invited to actually come in for a demo. They haven't released no demo. They haven't released the mini, so I didn't see the point of coming in for a demo, because I know for a fact that there's going to be a ton of adjustments the moment Fortress actually releases these minis. This vid, or you know what, they released it like a couple of weeks back. So let's see what they've got.
In this video, I'll show you the first of the soon-to-be-released Trench Crusade plastic miniature kits, the Prussian Stoßtruppen Warband, and I'll tell you what I think about them.
The audio okay? I honestly can't tell. Oh my God.
A few weeks ago, the nice folks at Factory Fortress, the makers of Trench Crusade, sent me 2 boxes of their first ever plastic models. The Prussian Stoßtruppen Warband. I took them with me.
We've actually made a video about the Free State of Prussia. The Free State of Prussia. I'm just gonna put the link down below. Very hardcore country. Hold on. Very hardcore country. No. I'm getting bigger. There we go. Okay. They're like the equivalent of Krieg, as far as I could tell with regards to their actual story. But what makes it weird is that they're a democracy, the Free State of Prussia. But anyways, let's keep on going.
To VincyCon last week, and I built the 8 models in, one of the boxes. These models aren't in stores yet, but they will be either later this year or maybe early next year, I believe. They should be available in stores eventually. I thought I'd make this video about the quality of the models, though, like the ease of building.
I mean, are we looking at the prototype? Is this the factory prototype? I mean, has a fair number actually been done? And it's now just, awaiting distribution? Comments, please, if you got like some insider info or something.
Them and kind of how they turned out, since I got a lot of questions when I posted some photos of them on social media during VincyCon. Now, if you're not familiar with Trench Crusade, it's a skirmish miniature wargame that takes place in an alternate history 1914. The Crusades never ended. There's an entrance to hell on Earth, and much of humanity has been fighting against the actual forces of hell. Demons and monsters and corrupted humans for like over 800 years now. It's very, very grim dark, and it had a hugely successful Kickstarter last year and released 6 entire forces of models in STL 3D printer format. I made a video about it here. Pachow, if you want to go and learn some more. However, when we saw just how much money they made on the Kickstarter, I knew that they'd be making plastics sooner or later. Now, that said, I didn't expect them this soon, right? I kind of figured maybe mid to late 2026, but they've been definitely keeping their foot on the gas over there at Factory Fortress, which is very cool, right? Like, though the game is complete.
I'm so sorry, you guys. New system. We're just touching on everything.
Completely miniatures agnostic. You can use whatever models you like. They have said so. You're going to play in an official tournament, and you kit bashed all your stuff. They're totally cool with that, right? And they also have an entire line, like I said, of 3D printable models available as well. That's great and all, but if you really, really want to get serious in miniatures gaming as a company, you need to get products into stores. And in this...
I mean, I wonder... That's always been their plan, to keep everything open, because what Fortress is doing is good. They're trying to basically not be seen as another GW spin-off, which is fine, which is okay. But in order for a company to survive, in order for a game to actually grow, the company needs to make money. That's what happened to Simon, Song of Ice and Fire. It's like Tupperware. It suffered from its own success. that the whole thing was so pro player that everything it had was based on the player reaction, that at a certain point the whole thing is somewhat dying in a sense that, you know what, Simon is spiraling. It sold off several IPs. It's just, one of its biggest games, Zombie Side. It managed to sell it off. If you guys have been on the news lately, it sold off another IP. I just can't remember which one. But at this point, um, I believe it's trying to hold on to a Song of Ice and Fire, because because apart from there are present, Game of Thrones related shows, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. What was the other one? House of the Dragon. There's been rumors. I'm not really sure if it's been confirmed yet, that HBO is going to fix season 8. I'm not really sure how they're going to fix season 8, for the simple reason that, you know what, everyone's gone, all of the actors have already gone off somewhere. Some of them have already changed the way they look. Some of them have definitely gotten older, so not really sure how that's going to happen. But here's the thing, right? I'm not really sure how long Fortress may be able to keep this up, because apparently they're opening the floodgates that, you know what, come on in. You can get Bash run wild, not only with the actual kit, with the actual minis, but go ahead, run wild with the lore. So hopefully, this doesn't come to bite them in the ass in the future, because if you guys remember, one of the reasons why people ran into the arms of Fortress is because of the whole female Astartes fiasco by GW. So not really sure what they're going to do with that they're opening the floodgates. But anyways, let's keep on going. I mean, they're opening the floodgates that, in a sense, that they don't want to be identified as another GW spin-off. So hopefully it doesn't, affect them too badly.
Day and age, plastics is how you do it. So they worked with Archon Studio out of Poland, makers of stuff like Dungeons and Lasers, the Rampart modular terrain system, which I love, by the way, the Masters of the Universe He-Man Battleground game or whatever, and also the soon-to-be-released StarCraft tabletop miniatures game. Like, that's who Archon, that's what they do. And they do really nice models. They make really nice hard plastic models. And they also did great work on these Trench Crusade Prussians as well. The Prussians are a sub-faction of the Principality of New Antioch. So they're technically kind of part of the good guys, and there's a great deal of flavor here in these models. So let's take a look, shall we?
I mean, they're definitely hardcore according to their lore, or at least, according to that one video we did, how life is like in the Free State of Prussia.
Shall we? Here is the box. It's a nice looking box.
Yes, it is.
It was shrink wrapped. I took the shrink wrap off so I wouldn't have to do it here on the camera. It's a whole thing. Anyway, you've got nice artwork of the, you've got some nice artwork. The artwork is amazing in Trench Crusade, always has been. But you've got some nice actual photographs of very nicely painted models of the models that are in the box. Again, the Prussian Stoßtruppen warband for the Principality of...
With regards to the actual artwork, I'm not so sure about that, because based on the video that we've seen, it's like you've got the artists running wild with their imagination, and it seems that the art is outpacing the actual lore. So not sure how that's going to affect everything in the future, because Fortress gave everyone free reign. You know what? Go ahead, write up whatever you want, and then we will consider it as canon or something. I believe they're gonna have to take it back at a certain point.
Of New Antioch. On the back, we get to see the names of them all. We've got 3 Stoßtruppen, we've got 3 yeomen, we've got a Hauptmann you can build in 2 different ways, and you've got a Feldkaplan, which you can also
Field Chaplain, of course. It's Prussian, so it's Feldkaplan.
Kind of build in 2 different ways. A lot of these things you can build in 2 different ways. The Hauptmann, they showed it's...
Hold up, you guys.
You can do it 2 different...
I'm looking for my inhaler. Hold on. Yeah. Huh. Hold on. Uh, wait, 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 wait. Uh, yeah, there we go. I'm just gonna go for a bit, alright? Hold on, hold on. No! I can't go anywhere! Oh my god! You know what? It's gonna take, just give me 30 seconds, alright? Oh my god. We can't go off frame! Holy shit! Ah, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Crap, 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 crap. What the hell is that? Alright. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. There we go. Okay. Alright, we just realized. Oh, no, no! I can't go off frame. No. Alright, this is it. This is as far as we can go off frame. Anyways, let's just reset this stuff. I am honestly worried about the audio. I am honestly worried about what it's picking up so far. In the meantime, hold on, hold on. Yeah, I mean, I could practically hear everything, but not so much. But I'm not really sure why the meter is going nuts or if it's really that sensitive. Mic test. Can you guys actually hear me? I'm not so sure. Yep. Anyways.
There's not enough room in the box to show all the different possibilities, but
No,
in the
not.
instruction manual, there is enough. Now, the thing that's interesting about the instruction manual, there's no instruction manual.
Oh.
At least not paper one here.
At least not
Inside,
yet.
we have, that's it. We've got 2 sprues, a box-sized sprue. We've got a 2/3 of a box-sized sprue, and we've got a bunch of bases. Now, so how do I put them together, right? Well, you'll notice there's this QR code.
That's good. That means we can do the basing first before we could actually put down the unit, which is good, which is awesome, which is great.
Right here on the back of the box, right? Lore, rules, starter sets, and assembly guide available here. And what it does is it brings you up a PDF that I've got here on my phone, if I can get it to focus. Now, the thing that's interesting about this, and this just might be the graphics layout nerd in me, but I noticed that it is basically kind of phone-shaped. This is not like 8.5 by 11 format or A4 format. This is like kind of long, kind of phone-shaped. So I'm wondering if that's like the idea that they had ahead of time to be just like, look, this is the type of thing that people are going to use to look.
That they designed this whole thing so you can actually hold on to this using your phone or your tablet in-game. That is amazing. All right.
Good. Nonetheless.
I mean, not exactly groundbreaking, but yeah. At least, they thought of the players that, that people are simply going to be holding onto their phones or to their tablets while they're playing. Alright, got it. Cool.
We have the war bands, we have the rules, we have some sample war bands, we have the miniatures assembly guide, and then we have the credits and copyrights and such. And so you've got some fluff, you've got some crazy looking artwork that's really, really cool. You've got strengths and weaknesses to this particular.
Alright, so hopefully there are no separate cards for rulebooks, because one of the things that I hate about GW is that it will separately sell the rules updates and unit updates. So I wonder if it's the same as that after they provide an update, they're just going to send everyone PDFs. That, here's the update, print it out, or just read it from your phone to make it easier from everyone. Because that's one of the most notorious things that GW does, is that for every update for almost everything from unit cards to objective cards and whatever, or mission parameters, you have to buy everything. And one of the upsides of Fortress is that they're trying to step away from being regarded as a GW spin-off. Hold on. So far, everything's fine. Everything seems to be fine with the audio right now. Although, I'm just, picking up some static and some air. I'm gonna try and fix that by next week, so hopefully you guys can forgive me for this one.
Warband. Then you have the Hauptmann, the Feldkapitän.
Alright, so Hauptmann, the Feldkapitän, Sniper, Priest, Yeoman, Combat Engineers. So, he didn't exactly show how many minis Wait. No. Actually, at the back of the box, there's like how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 minis. That's one entire squad. So I guess it's up to you to actually pick and choose with regards to how you build it. So hopefully these minis have been designed to a point that you could actually magnetize them. Like some people do with their Warhammer minis.
Sniper Priest is not a model that's in the box, so you would probably either make your own or use the Sniper Priest from New Antioch. You could do that too. Yeoman, Stoss-Truppen,
interesting.
Combat Engineers, same thing as the Sniper Priest, same thing as the Combat Medic, and same things as Mechanized Infantry. You can use all those models, or again, like I said, make your own if you want to, but they will all be available in this particular list.
Of course they
Speaking
will.
of lists, there's an information about warband creation and all the different stuff here. You've got your armory tables. This is a 72-page document, by the way. It just kind of keeps going. There's a lot in here, which is really cool, and it's all about this particular force.
Yeah.
Then we have the actual listings for the different
Strengths,
the
weaknesses.
Sniper Priest and the Hauptmann and the Feldkapten and all that kind of stuff. And then eventually we get to the building. But only after we go through a couple of sample, lists that you can build. There's 2 different ones that'll show you all that
It might
stuff. Then
actually
we get into
take
the
some
miniatures
time
guide.
before,
And it shows you,
this whole thing,
this stuff looks like
reaches our
any
little
other kind of major
island,
plastic
but you know what?
manufacturer that you're
Patience
working
is a
with these
virtue.
days. And they make, they do this and then do this.
Although
and
I'm
whatnot.
not really
And they'll
sure
have-
what he meant by the Sniper Priest. It's not part of the box. I don't know what he meant by that. Can someone please put it down in the comments?
Like this one is, it starts out with black numbers, meaning that you build this no matter what, but then depending on how you want to build it, if you're going to be separating and going, one build versus the other build,
Spare
then
heads.
there's red little marks here that tell you you do that, or there's yellow ones and they tell you. So
Interesting.
it's very simple to figure out how you should build them. Depending on how you want to go. Here it'll show you the red one. Option A is the 2-handed sword, and option B is the 1-handed sword and the submachine gun. And then you just kind of go through and build. It's really nice. It's very simple. Saves paper, so they don't have to put that stuff in the box, which I think is pretty cool. The bases are interesting. Let me see if I can get them out. So the base.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry, you guys. We finally, hold on. We finally figured out how to fix the audio. Hold on. I'm just gonna text it, okay? Alright. Oh. We finally figured it out after like 20 minutes of being here. We finally figured it out. Alright, good. Okay. Hold on. One more. Hold up. Yeah. Oh, there's a noise gate. Ah! 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 Wait. Hold up. I am just going to test it out. Alright. Let's see, just one more now. This thing is actually working. This thing is amazing. Hold on. Last one. Alright. There we go. I wonder what happens if we do this. There's actually a gate so it doesn't explode. So, hold on. Last one. You. 1, 2, 3. Mic test. 1, 2, 3. Alright, nothing's happening. We're good. Pop filter ain't doing its job. Alright. There we go. Okay. I'm so sorry. First time using this system.
Bases are not just generic bases. They actually say on the bottom here, Factory Fortress Inc. I don't know if we can get it to show here.
No,
Can we get it to
no focus.
There we go.
Oh,
So they're actually made by Trench Crusade. These are specific Trench Crusade bases, and you'll notice they have a little bump there, a little thing, a little area to glue a magnet in there if you want to magnetize your miniature, which is cool.
They thought of everything.
I'll be honest, I kind of prefer GW's like bumpy surface here because I like to use it in my sci-fi miniatures as like asphalt, like the base asphalt on my bases, and then I sprinkle extra stuff on top here and there. This is less fine grain, but with Trench Crusade stuff, I'm going to cover the entire bases with mud, so it doesn't really matter that much. But they come with all the right
I mean, good call. Everything mud.
sizes you need. There's some 32s, there's 25s, stuff like that, or maybe 28s. I forget. But they tell you...
By the way, I'm just praying right now that hopefully I didn't mess up the audio.
In the instructions, which one to use with which model. They come in the baggie, and it's kind of nice. The plastics themselves... These things are this feels like GW plastic.
And the winged hussars.
The stuff that GW uses, from what I've been told, is called HIPS, which stands for high impact polystyrene. This feels the same. If anything, I'll be perfectly honest with you, I feel like
It feels thick, it looks thick compared to the other sprues that I've seen. Look, it's whatchamacallit? It's really thick and square-ish. Blockish, actually. Whereas compared to the other sprues or to regular sprues that we usually see, which is usually round and thin, this one is square and blockish. But I guess it's a good way to determine that, you know what, this is a sprue, it's not part of the unit or it's not part of the mini.
The sprues themselves are a little bit thicker than GW ones. I could be wrong. They definitely have that whole kind of puzzle thing going on that GW has been doing over the last 5 to 10 years, where they must use a computer to Tetris all the parts together, so there's no wasted space. If you remember back in the day, old GW models, there was tons of space. You could stick your fingers in between the models, and nowadays you can sometimes barely get clippers in there. This is I didn't have any problem building these. These guys clipped quite well, and I had a pretty good time doing it. It was not a problem. Also, I don't know if you can see this either, all the numbers have a little arrow next to them. Let me turn this upside down here like that.
Ooh.
Catch it in the light. So right here, this one is number 30, and there's an arrow to show that this is part 30. That is also really nice. There are times that GW will put a number somewhere and you're like, is that supposed to be this one or that one? And it can be a little tough. In this situation, every single one of these, the number points towards the one or that one, and it can be a little tough. In this situation, every single one of these, the number points towards the actual bit, which is really great.
Awesome.
As far as building, they went together really easily. A lot of the parts, let's see if I can find a good one here, like an arm or a leg. A lot of the parts
the heavy machine
have
gun.
Like a lug.
The heavy machine gun.
Here. Right there by my finger, there's like a little dot, right? That goes into like a socket on the other side when you're putting the legs together. And it's nice that way. It goes together really simply. So
Fortress actually provided sockets for these things. All right. Good. That's cool.
Basically nothing in here where you didn't have to glue 2 legs together, which drives me a little nuts sometimes. I'm like, if I can't pose the stuff, then why not just have the leg? But I get it, I guess. There were very few options where I'd be like, well, you use this leg or this leg. It was always like, no, you have to glue these 2 legs together, which is a thing, you know. GW these days will make it where even a leg is multiple parts sometimes, right? And I kind of miss the old days when like from the waist down was all one part, because then it's just easier and faster and I'm not having to glue as many pieces together. I was not as annoyed putting these together as I am by you know, current day GW models. So I would take that with, you know, with what you will. Like this musician here with the glockenspiel, like you basically get his entire torso and his glockenspiel and this arm and even his little clanger.
Wait, a glockenspiel? If I'm not mistaken, this is a xylophone. Oh my god, we have drummer boys! Well, or xylophone boys. That is amazing. And hopefully I didn't mess up the audio.
Yeah. But on the back of him, you can't see it here, the arm that's holding the glockenspiel is missing. That's another piece. And that was a little fiddly to get glued in there. I remember that. But, you know, you just got the one musician that you can really generally take, so it's not too bad.
Wait, we've got drummer boys in, so does that mean they act as as a buffing unit? They act to buff the units? I mean, this is squad based. This is a squad based game. This is a squad based action. So we've got drummer boys, or no, he wasn't a drummer boy. He's a xylophone boy. It's a glockenspiel. So does this mean that his job is to buff everyone up? But anyways, comments please.
Another thing, though, is that most of these models, when you're going through to build them, some of them have tactical rocks or tactical sandbags to stand on, which is fine.
Oh.
That doesn't bother me that much.
For a moment there, I was like wondering, what the fuck is a tactical rock? I mean, sandbags are meant to be tactical, but what the fuck is a tactical rock? Okay, so they're basically what you insert for the if you're into basing, but I wonder if you could actually use these things without without actually using the proper basing, like if you could actually make your own. Because I don't mind making my own basing, but sometimes I just feel like a little bit too lazy. Like I know guys would literally go out there in the woods to actually pick up, miniature sticks and dirt for their minis. But that's not me, alright? I just, all of the stuff that I use for my basing, I just, slap them on there using a brush. I don't even use the whole spatula thing that there's like you're supposed to. I have wasted so many brushes just, slapping on the basing stuff that would generally ruin these brushes. Because I'm too lazy.
But a lot of them can be built like two different ways. You're either going to have, a bolt action rifle, right, and an axe, or you're going to have a trench club and an axe,
tool.
right? But what if you wanted a sword? You know what I mean? Like there are some swords in here, but they are
I
generally.
wonder if they allowed because what some of the more hardworking 40k players, what they do is instead of just slapping it on with glue, what they do is they magnetize the whole thing. I wonder if some of the more enterprising players can actually pull that off, because me personally, if you want to switch, I would honestly spend the time, or I would honestly try and do the whole magnetization thing, but it's definitely gonna be harder, but it's definitely gonna be more convenient. It would make your units more versatile.
Designed to be used with other models and stuff like that, because those models have
Right.
got swords. I wish there were a few more pieces. One of the things that's very cool about Trench Crusade is you have a lot of options when you are outfitting your models.
Okay.
Now, to be fair, an axe and a sword are basically, as far as the stats are concerned, the same. So if if you're just like, well, I'd kind of like to have a sword, you're doing that more because you're interested in the idea of the look of a guy with a sword versus a guy with an axe. It doesn't really give you any benefit.
Of course, things are going to change if it's a guy with a sword versus a guy with a bolt action rifle.
Fit rules wise, because like I said, they're the same thing in the rules. And there's a lot of different things in the rules where like this and this are basically the same. And it's not even like their stats are close. I mean, they're in the same
that
line.
close.
It's a trench, it's an axe / sword. And then this are the points for it, that you cost to buy it. And these are the stats and stuff like that.
All right.
All that to be said, again, the models went together really well. I would have liked to have seen just a little bit more customization, but for the most part, they
can't
went
have
together
it
really
all.
well.
I'm pretty sure that since Fortress is doing its best to step away or not to be identified as a GW spin-off, I'm pretty sure that it's definitely going to listen to its community. See, we've got your bolt action rifle. This is a shotgun. I'm not sure if this is a potato masher grenade or if it's a hammer. I can't tell at this point, but there's a very good there's going to be a very good chance that Fortress will listen to its community and it will actually provide more. But in the meantime, this is what we have, and we should be thankful. I'm so sorry, excuse me. But my question is, but is this worth it? Is this the Kickstarter that everyone paid for? I honestly can't remember how much it raised. Something about, it's either 26 million or 6 million, somewhere between there or something. But I wonder if this is it, if this is what everyone got for the Kickstarter campaign. Can someone please put it down in the comment? I can't remember the number, but I can provide the old vid that we did for this one as to how much exactly it managed to raise for its Kickstarter campaign.
Detail. Let me see if I can get it to focus again. Come on, buddy. There we go.
Autofocus.
Like
Come
the
on.
detail, like on that chest piece right there.
There we go.
It's very good. Is it absolutely as sharp as GW? I would say it's very, very, very close, but it is not absolutely as sharp as GW. It's so close that it's hard.
It's me, to be honest, if you're actually referring to the sharpness of the minis, I mean, what do you have anyway? It's like 99, it's like what, 90% of players use Space Marines, and it's basically they're basically wearing plate armor. Apart from the Aquila on their chest, apart from the face mask, that's it. They have a holster, they have a knife and a belt, that's it. Even the flamer, the one with the disposable tank, not that hard. Whereas if you compare it to other systems where they actually provide details, minuscule details to their minis, you don't need to be that sharp in order to compete with GW. Specifically, in terms of Warhammer 40k.
To tell the difference, honestly, but I feel like it's just like if GW molds are made with these incredibly super tiny little Dremel type things on a robot arm that etches everything out of the metal molds, they used like one step larger tiny microscopic Dremel tool to do the insides of these, which means that nothing comes to a completely super sharp razor point, but that's not the end of the world, you know?
It's not.
I think to your average
it's like, you know what, looking at graphics, you don't need that, you don't need to have that, you know, groundbreaking graphics in order to pull in or in order to provide a good game. You don't need it. You're good.
Person, they would not notice the difference between these
two.
I've
wouldn't.
been doing this for a long time,
and I doubt if they would actually
looking
care.
at very specifically how these things get made, and I would say that these are just a touch under the sharpness of GW. Frankly, I think sometimes GW's sharpness is a little too sharp. If you're ever trying to like put together the those guys, the Varangard, those big guys on horses, they were way too pointy.
Yeah, well, they're definitely pointy because we're talking about fantasy. But if you move on to 40k, you don't need it. It's not that sharp. And I mean, if you're gonna compare it to video games, it comes down to graphics. You don't need the groundbreaking graphics to actually provide a good game. And real aficionados or real gamers or real players simply wouldn't care. I mean, look, I mean, put it this way. One of the biggest game that came out this year, was it this year or that? Oh my god, I'm losing time again. Balatro, right? It was what? Pixel art. No one cared. It's all about the good gameplay. It's all about having a good system.
And I hurt myself doing it. So just FYI, these guys are not as pointy, but the detail is great. I think that they're going to be a lot of fun.
Oh my god, they have a xylophone boy. Oh, I can't wait for them to reach our little island. Although I'm just, he said something about the sniper priest. I'm not really sure where you're supposed to get that because he said that, you're supposed to get them from somewhere else. So I wouldn't see the point. But based on the box, I count like, each and every box would contain at least 9 minis. But look at that. I'm gonna buy it just for the xylophone boy.
I have not painted them yet. I got them built at VincyCon, and they are now ready to get their bases. I need to texture their bases so that they match up my other Trench Crusade models, and then it'll be prime time, and then starting to paint. And I have ideas on how I want to paint them. Again, looking at the artwork here in the phone app thing is really cool because there's a lot of really good looking artwork.
Can we get like rewind? I want to count how many. Hold on.
My other.
Hold on.
Paint
so sorry.
I have not.
So 1, 2, 3.
Painted them yet. I got them built at VincyCon, and they are now ready to get their bases. I need to texture their bases so they match up my other Trench Crusade models.
Oh, this must be the Field Commandant. The 5.
And then it'll be prime time, and then starting to paint. And I have ideas on how I want to paint them. Again, looking at the artwork here
Don't
in
cut off on
the
me,
phone
bastard.
app thing is
7,
really cool because there's a lot of really, really
8.
good looking artwork.
Come
and there's a lot
on,
of times when
cut
I'm like looking at
out.
this and I'm going, I know what
God
colors I'm
damn
going to
it.
use for that. You know what I mean? To get close to this. So I'm really looking forward to painting them. And I think they're
Yeah.
going to be a lot of fun. I'm also going to use, like, again, this is the second box, obviously, because there's no parts missing. I'm going to use this second one to make a
Oh, they sent him like two boxes of the same unit. All right, got it. I thought there were like going to be a different box for that
couple
one.
of the alternates that I wasn't able to make with the first ones. It's the same general idea where if you're going to build this model, you either give it this loadout or this loadout. But if you wanted both, then you need 2 models. So
Of course.
possibly that's why they sent me 2 of the boxes. Nonetheless, yeah, I'm really impressed by these. I've built other models and things like that from Archon Studio before.
I want it. I want one right here.
If anything, I
Right
think these
now.
are even a little better than the last thing that I built from them.
I'm just a bit worried. Hopefully they're not going to cost like an arm and a leg. Like, well, it's not an army builder. It's squad based. It's not. So it definitely won't cost an arm and a leg to actually get in to it. But I just hope that, you know what, it doesn't go in the kill team route, in a sense that you're gonna buy a fresh unit, you're gonna buy a fresh unit, and then after like 2 or 3 years it will expire, which is what, you know, which is pretty normal for GW standards. Hopefully Fortress steps away from that kind of thing, and hopefully their efforts to not look like GW, or to not end up looking like a GW spinoff, wouldn't hurt them in the long run. Hopefully they would actually earn, and hopefully their units wouldn't cost an arm and a leg.
I've built some like vehicles and stuff like them. There's that tank that I bought at I think Gen Con, or maybe it was Nova. I forget where I picked it up, but I bought one of the tanks from them. And you know, again, it's a big vehicle. You don't need nearly as sharp of detail. But like if you look at the here on the, I think this is the Feldkappen. That's a bunch of you know, chainmail. Like that's really high detail. That's a lot of detail. And that's really nice. So if you're used to
chainmail.
painting and building GW models, I would say these are pretty comparable.
Yes, they are.
I would say that they're a little bit easier to build, personally. Just the way it felt to me as I built them, I was not
They made it
flummoxed at any
convenient to
point
build
for the most part. There was one model where like the arm just sort of had to kind of fit in a certain spot, and it didn't quite necessarily, but it was pretty close. Like some of them were very simple. Like obviously this peg goes into this hole and it fits and it's square and it's just really easy to do. And there was like one model where I was like, well, this is a little bit close, but you use some good glue and it takes care of the problem pretty easily.
Yep.
So to sum up, I'm really happy with these plastics. I'm very happy with these plastics. They went together pretty easily for the most part. They have great detail. The numbering is very, very clear. They're sturdy. And the sculpts themselves are really characterful, you know, kind of matching a lot of the kind of sculpts that you have in the STLs for the previous stuff that they put out at the end of 2024 that you can get now. I'm going to build, like I said, a few more from the second box and kind of the other configuration, so I have more options in my Prussian force during list building, which will be kind of nice. But then, at that point, I might try some kit bashing with some of the other models as
I'm not really sure how the whole thing works. I promise you, before the year ends, I am definitely going to ask the Trench Crusade people to. I'm gonna tell them that I'm gonna accept the demo, and yeah, and hopefully it works out. I'm gonna ask them about the kit bashing, as to what factions are actually available for play with regards to kit bash. So yeah, before the year ends, I'm gonna report it to you guys, and hopefully it's all fun.
well. We'll see how it
good.
goes. The models, like I said, aren't as customizable as, say, like Stargrave or Frostgrave models.
But you don't need to be customizable. You need to be Fortress. You don't need to be W. You don't need to be the GW. You just need to be Fortress in order to be successful. Now, basically providing a system for the fans and basically earning money are two separate and distinct things. Can you actually earn money while giving the fans what they want? It's happened before, but there's a very fine line that, you know, you have to make sure you're gonna have to be, it's gonna be a tightrope, right? You're gonna have to just balance that out, that you need to earn money. It needs to earn money while providing a good experience for the players at the same time. All I know is once it reaches our little island, I'm definitely going to buy it.
But they're designed to fill specific roles in the Prussian forces, whereas
Of
Stargrave
course.
and Frostgrave are just, to make dudes.
Make
And again,
dudes.
if I do have any kind of
Make
complaint,
dudes.
the littlest, tiniest complaint is that while the models in the box all generally have like loadout options, you can build them multiple ways. Even the musician, you can just change his helmet. You can't really change his different type. You can't give him like a rockin' guitar or anything like
Right.
that. It's going to be the, power glockenspiel or whatever that he's banging away
Glockenspiel.
on. But they generally kind of only have specific options represented
Aw.
by the weapons in the box. So this guy either goes together
Weapons
this
in the
way
box.
or that way. A certain yeoman can either be built, like I said, with a bolt-action rifle and a trench club, or an axe and a trench club. Those are your options. But if you want him to give him a sword
bad
or a
options.
great hammer or an automatic shotgun, those are all things that are available to him in the lists, but they're not in the box. So you're going to have to kit bash that to make it happen. It'd be nice to have those parts, some of those extra weapons and stuff like that in this kit if it were possible.
Of course.
But they do make a 3D printable like weapon loadout for both the like church forces, the hell forces, and even the sultanate forces. So you could probably, get some 3D printed automatic shotguns and then add them to the guys that you wanted to if you wanted to go down that road, as long as you were cool with kit bashing, I guess.
So yeah, hopefully they support it, or at least the fans actually support it. I like that how it's meant to be supported, because right now Fortress is basically standing on the Kickstarter money, or on the Kickstarter funds. So they're fine for now, because like I said earlier, they opened the floodgates to everything. You know what? You want to kit bash? Go ahead. You want to 3D print? Go ahead. You want to mess with the lore? We'll call it canon. Go ahead. They've opened the floodgates. And hopefully from the fans, I hope the support doesn't stop, for the simple reason that right now, with the Kickstarter money, I mean, they're still fine. They're still good. But how long can they actually stand out? How long can they actually keep it up? Hopefully they won't, suffer from its own success, in a sense that they're going to spiral financially, since everyone's kit bashing, since everyone's 3D printing, because what would be the point of buying these minis if we could make our own? Anyways, let's keep on going.
All in all, I'm really looking forward to painting
Me
them.
too.
I really feel like they're going to be
Or at least,
very
buying one
interesting
and
to
getting the
paint.
actual
And
units
I'm
in.
also looking forward to seeing the next batch of plastic miniatures that they're going to come out with, hopefully kind of soon, I'm hoping that it's going to be one of the Hell factions. If I'm perfectly honest, I mean,
it's definitely going to be the Hell faction, for the simple reason it needs enemies. What would be the point, right?
want it to be Trench Ghosts, because the Trench Ghosts are just a
Trench
super cool
Ghosts.
sub-faction that I really would love to see their take on it, I was planning on just using what a lot of people have been using, which is like, GW Night Haunts, and you give them gas masks and rifles and stuff like that, but I'd love to see what they're going to be doing with it. And I
right.
hope that that's the next one that they do. So what do you think? Are you looking forward to getting these models for your own Trench Crusade
Yes.
forces? Or do you prefer the 3D printed figures, or just kit bashing your own? Let us all know down in the comments below.
Yep.
If you liked
Comments,
this
please.
video, then I would appreciate some plastic depressmentation of the like button. It really does help the channel.
Yes.
It helps the algorithm.
Oh yeah, like, share, subscribe, notification button, you guys. Really helps us out a lot with the algo. Appreciate it.
Them and all that stuff, and it helps me out. And thanks for doing it if you do. And also, if you want to see more videos like this
you.
every single Friday, then there's also a subscribe button while you're down there as well.
Already subscribed.
And you can hit that, and it's also free. Thanks for watching.
Bye! Thank you for watching, guys. Now, if you want me to check out other stories here on YouTube, please let me know in the comments. We upload every weekend, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, as much as I want to, really. And don't forget to check out our Twitch channel, where you can watch this dumpster fire go down live. Again, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps out with the algo. Now, class dismissed.